Good morning, sisters. Are you ready for training?
Yes, we are.
All right. Your training will determine how you will be fighting on the battlefield. Okay, count off.
1,
2, 3. Where's Arsima?
My sisters, let me apologize. I have no excuse.
Your apology means nothing. Her lives are on the line. You must be 100% committed.
This is only the beginning. We must establish the ultimate discipline.
Are you scared, little dogs? Because if you're scared, say something right now. Do you know when the fight starts? There's no turning back. You know that, right?
I appreciate you challenging the sisters, but should any of you decide to discipline her behavior, it surely must be that you see our armed struggles as fun and games.
Look at our people. Bodies and limbs everywhere. I've never seen a smile like this. We have to calm the people. A lost of innocent lives like this is going to be hard to overcome.
We have to ask ourselves, how long will our people withstand such vicious and brutal treatment? If the aim is to strike fear in our hearts, then the enemy has succeeded, whether we admit it or not. I cannot believe my ears. You sound scared as hell. You might as well fight with the enemy. Where is your pride? Where is your dignity? Look at these lives. The loss of these lives should make us more determined to take the fight to the enemy. We cannot sound apathetic in the face of adversity.
It's only natural to be scared. And we can let fear be our outcome.
I can't wait to get home. I miss my family. You know, I only got married 1 week before the Guerrilla War. That's beautiful.
You are very brave. Very brave. May I please sleep in the house tonight? I am very tired, and my children are very energetic. I must be prepared for them, and my loving husband, too.
Of course, my home is open to you. We can fight for Eritrea together. Of course, we can show each other hospitality. My house might be a little messy, but please, make yourself at home.
Your couch is calling my name.
Oh my God! Oh my God! How can they do this to us and to me? Vicky, come here and see what I found.
And he's gonna do this? I come home to this?
Burn the house down.
Don't blame me. You talked it as though those are my shoes beside your bed. You owe me an apology.
I'm sorry. But this is humiliating. Forgive me. I'm very glad you're here because if you weren't, I would burn all his clothes. That's probably why he was asking me when I was coming home. He's been doing this all along. And in front of our daughter, that's what really has me angry.
What's going on? Is it time to attack? I'm ready for combat.
Well, I can't talk about it. Something terrible's been discovered, and I need the two of you to help get to the bottom of it.
Hold on, Danielle. You come down here and tell us to get moving, but you're not going to tell us what's going on?
Something terrible's been discovered, and I need the two of you to help get to the bottom of it. Just come with me, and I'll show you the facts. Bring these traders out here right now. Tell me if there's anything they have.
What's going on, Danielle? Why are our husbands tied up?
Danielle, are our husbands informants? Is that what this is all about?
Don't tell me you know about this.
Hold on, Danielle. I mean, I put my life on the line every day. So don't disrespect me like that. I have a loyalty. We can take them out right now. I'll shoot both of them.
This is crazy. What? You're not even going to ask your husband for an explanation? Danielle, where's your husband?
Our information is very thorough and our intelligence is very thorough as well. So, they've been talking about this since day one. Remember they told us when we started fighting? You don't see these cowards putting up any resistance? I say let's do it. I'm ready. They must go.
Well, I might start with my comrades. All right, put them on the wall. Let's get this over with. Can't stand excitement.
Mama, Auntie, how do I look?
Is that my uniform?
Take it off right now.
Elsa, I think she looks very beautiful in her uniform.
You don't make this easy for me. We must not romanticize our struggle. The war is horrific.
I'm 17 years old, Mama. I've been training hard. I run 5 miles a day. I know how to handle an AK-47 and a 9mm shotgun. Okay? So, it's pretty handy when I do say so myself.
Elsa, I have a confession to make. My daughter, your daughter, and 100 girls are part of a squadron called the Shining Light Brigade. I created a training program for them, and they have exceeded all of my expectations.
But I fought so that we all could be free. My daughter, she is going to be adopted. And that's fine.
I will be adopted, like Acapulco Neto in Angola, Che Guevara in Cuba, and Franz Fanon in Algeria. I studied hard, Mama. I studied my history. You taught me that. But if I can't fight, then I must die. I must die trying.
Elsa, my daughter told me, if I protested, I must be prepared to kill every member of the brigade.
Okay, convince me. However, if she can't handle the pressure, all of you will pay. Is that
Guerrillas, mothers and wives, the sisters of Eritrea, one more time. Okay. For those of you who were here earlier, you know why we're here. So, and we know how African custom is. So with that being said, we want to call up, just to say a few words, our guest of honor today, Mama Roberta McLeod. After all she's done for Blackburn, you can do a lot better than that. As Marion Barry said, take a stand, come on.
You know, it's kind of strange coming into a place that you spent, I spent 34.5 years building up the day it opened to make sure that we used it to bridge the gap between the community and the university. And I think I was successful in doing that. I just looking at these babies that are on the stage today, it warms your heart that they are learning their history. This is very special because as long as the woman writes the story, the line is true. And until the line writes his own story, you never know the truth. Because history is a lie agreed upon. It's written and told to us by the rulers. It's his story. So we have to document and teach our children their story. It doesn't negate anybody else's story. It doesn't take anything from their story. But it empowers us to know our story. And my son is sitting here. I have a little turtle. His name is Sankofa. And everyone comes up to me, why do you have a turtle? Turtles live a long time. That turtle will probably outlive all of us in our family. And so I have to pass them on and on. And I like turtles because turtles are slow, but they are not slow because my son, I took him out to show him to the children in the school next door, and he jumped out of my arm. I almost lost the darn turtle. Lucky there was a block, and he couldn't get to the sewer because he would have been a goner. He took off and stood up on his legs, and he went very fast. Turtles can move. So don't let anybody tell you that's slow, but he's steady. And he moves steady at his pace. And I always teach our young people, that's how you have to live your life. You might run up against something, but you figure out another way to get around it. And right now, folks in America, we are in a modern day nadir. How many of you know about the nadir period in history? How many? See, one hand. That's very sad. Let me tell you about the nadir period. The late 1800s to the 1920s. After Reconstruction. All of us know about Reconstruction. All the gains that were made. We had more elected senators in the South who were all Republicans back then. The Republican Party was the party of the people. And then we made all the gains, moved forward, did great things. Slavery was over. And then in the nadir period, The white people thought that we had gotten too much, too big, too beside ourselves, and the Ku Klux Klan was born. Go back and study your history. It's important that you understand that. And so as history would tell us, during that period, you had the lynching, mass lynching, you had gerrymandering of votes, you had redistricting of voting areas, you had the repealing of the Voting Rights Act. Does that sound familiar?
Yes.
Okay, people were threatened to vote, you were threatened your job, your home, you had burning of properties. If it doesn't sound familiar, you need to go home, go on your computer, look up in the Nadir period. We're in a modern day Nadir right now. And if you go on, I've never been on Facebook, I always had a page, but now that I'm retired, there's nothing to do most of the time. I'm on Facebook, and the hatred that you see on Facebook tells you where we are in America today. Now, what people don't understand, those of you who didn't vote, and I hope no one in this room is guilty, you see what we got in them. You see who's voted in, right? Now, the sad part of that is, people thought that was going to get who? They voted them in not to run this country. They voted them in to do what? Get Obama. Understand that. But what they don't understand, what they have voted in, the rules and the changes and the bills that they are already putting in place is not going to impact just us. It's going to impact all of us. It's going to hurt America. And as people talk about us as black people being on welfare, we are the less number of people on welfare. The majority of people on welfare in America, folks, go look over there. It's not my statistics, it's their statistics. Are white people. So poverty will hit all of us if they do what they're trying to do. Right now, it's not about white or black. It's about economics. It's going to come to that. All these racist folks who are speaking all these ugly things about get over it, get over it, get over it. My problem with us is, as a people, I'm saying this without apology. When I worked at Queens College, there was a rabbi, I was a very dear friend of mine, Rabbi Kraft. And I asked him, why do we always talk about the Holocaust? Why do we always have to see movies and do plays that's so horrific, and you all have brands on your arms, you get a concentration camp? Why do you want to remember that? And he said to me, I want you to understand one thing about my people. Lest we forget history, it will repeat itself. We will not allow this history to repeat itself. But your people stick their head in the sand with their backside up in the target position, and you want to pretend that your Holocaust never happened. You are now in another society and it's different. He said, no. You have to be reminded and reminded. It doesn't mean you carry it around like a sword or a bullet or anything, but you have to be reminded so that your history will not repeat itself. Have we been there? No. We have ignored it, and now our history is doing what? Repeating itself. And I say to you, and I say this is my day of honor, but I just felt compelled to say this because the young people in the audience, it's their future that we are messing up. And we all need to come to understand it's about people. And when I get on Facebook, I don't curse and carry on, because I'm going to tell you, anybody in here on Facebook, be very careful how you say what you say. Look at the people losing their jobs. Within days, when they put something on that page, they're gone. The professor in Florida lost her job. A doctor in Texas lost her job. They're watching, they're trolling, they watch what you write. You can express yourself, but don't put threats out there. Someone wrote yesterday they want to kill all the CEOs. I wrote that person, I said, be very careful, because Homeland Security will come down on your house and you'll be arrested for threatening. Understand that. Big Brother is watching everybody. And it doesn't matter how you look or what you look like. Police brutality is a reality. It's no joke about that. There are rogue cops. I'm going to give you an assignment. Go on your Facebook or go on YouTube, go on Google, search 1959, Newark, New Jersey, Elijah Muhammad. A letter from the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan. And in that letter, and I'm old enough to remember that, because he gave that speech and I heard it. He said, we will be powerful in the future because we will wear black robes. We will sit in Congress and the Senate. We will be in the police force. We will be in places in this country that we will have power into the future. But yet there was an announcement that the Ku Klux Klan is going to integrate and take in gays and blacks. What fool would join them? They would have a flashback and you understand where that term picnic came from. So I'm saying to you, teach our young people. This was incredible, awesome work, incredible. And sisters, I don't know how you can shoot them fine brothers in here. I would have to kind of be wondering, but I think Sister Girl was still mad about them shoes. I don't know. I probably would have been so I was, oh no. But I'm saying it was wonderful. You all did a wonderful job. It's a good lesson for the young people. Those were great scholars that you featured and focused on up here. And I hope they do more studying. On this campus, you know, our students learn a lot about their culture and their history. But we have to teach other young people. And folks, don't walk around and look down on anybody. If you pass a person on the street, don't look at them like they're a scourge of the earth, because all of us, if we're fortunate, are at least 2 paychecks away from being in the same position. Some of us are 1 paycheck away. And we have to pray that we don't fall there, because the world is not the same. Your folks will tell you, let my house be your hotel, because hotels are residents. People aren't on the street because they choose to be. And places passing bills not to feed the homeless, making it against the law to feed a homeless person. You can be locked up. Florida was doing that, but now he had to back up because the outcry was so great. I say to you, each of us have a responsibility. Everybody's child is our child. I don't care what color they are. Every child belongs to us because they are our future. And young black men in this room, ladies, taking nothing from you, young black and brown men in this room, you're the greatest gift God has given us. There's nothing greater than you, because you are the keeper of our seed. You're the carrier of our race. We have to have you strong, healthy. You have to know that. You have to know how great you are. You have to love yourself and respect each other. You have to make hard choices, and this is for both young ladies and young men in the room. You choose to be smart. Don't dumb down. You choose to be honorable. You choose to learn and study. Don't be stupid. You choose to keep this temple clean. It houses your God self. It's only your God that lives in that temple. Keep it clean. Keep it chaste. You choose not to give it babies until it's old enough to understand the responsibilities. You choose not to give away your jewels. It's the most precious gift God has given you. You choose not to kill each other. You choose. You choose good friends. You choose not to run in the street. You choose family, not gangs. Choose. Because in the long run, it's the best choice you would make. With that, I'd say thank you for this honor. Thank you all for being here with the children, because you have to support them to be here. Your support is in to keep them from having another choice. And you should keep doing the things that you're doing. Lovely mothers, thank you for being here. Fathers, especially. It's nice when I see our brothers, because people don't like to focus on how many good men we have. But there are those who know we have good men, because they're trying to get you. We know about that. So I'm saying to you, all of you, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
On behalf of Mass Emphasis and the entire Washington, D.C. community, as a small token of appreciation, we present this bouquet of flowers to Mama Brigham. But how many of you are here at one of our performances for the first time? Thank you. If you have children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, nephews, nieces, sons, daughters, we want them. From 5 to 18 years old. I want to bring up, where's Mama Maria at? Thank you. Our technical team back there, stand up please, Brother Henry. Sister Maria, very humble sister, been doing this work for 30 years, and for those of you who've seen us perform before, you saw the difference in these plays. A lot more acting, a lot more drama. So for the rest of this school year, between now and June, every time we perform, we will do a new play, but we will do a revision of some of the older work that you've seen, with it being more drama-driven, more action-driven, so that we can ensure that we're respecting that rich and wonderful tradition. Mama Kelly, I see you. Can you stand up, please? 2.5 weeks ago, she took me on one of the most special trips I've ever been on. She took me to the 100th birthday party of Gertrude Janae. For those of you who do not know who that is the mother of the African Black theater movement in this country. And when Sidney Poitier moved on, when Ossie Davis moved on, when Ruby Dee moved on, Sister Janae established the Hadley Players and made theater in our community a force to be reckoned with. So these are the people that we're learning from, and these are the people that we gain our inspiration from. Real quickly, why did we honor Mama Roberta McLeod today? Obviously, she's a walking billboard of African cultural expression. Thousands of girls on this campus changed their attire, the texture of their hair, just by watching her, before they had any conversation with her. And the programs that she had in this building, right here, the room across, upstairs before they turned it into the dining hall, ensured that the traditional learning environment, the classroom learning, was not confined to the classroom at Howard because of Roberta McLeod. So those are the obvious reasons, but the most important reason why we decided to honor her today is it's not just where you make the contributions you make. Sometimes what's even more important is the capacity in where you make the contributions. She made her contributions to change the landscape here, being in the background and being comfortable with being in the background. If you, one day you ought to come up here and see the office that she used to be in and see the size of the room. 500 phone calls a day, maybe more than that, but always diligent, always hardworking, and always working beyond the call of duty. Francis Wilson Study Group is here because of Mama Roberta McLeod. Uji Mashule's annual program is here because of Mama Roberta McLeod. The president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe, came to Blackburn Center because of Roberta McLeod. Funds to raise to come here every year because of Roberta McLeod. None of the quality programs here, they wouldn't have taken place without Roberta McLeod. And as we know, Howard University is a microcosm of the African community. Yes, she ensured that these programs and those entities had access to this campus. But the intelligence agency of the Zionist state of Israel, they've got a pipeline to Howard too. The Bunch Center around the corner is a training ground for the U.S. State Department. They're here too. My father used to always tell me, organize anywhere you can, but be very careful when you're at Howard University. People will talk like you, walk like you, speak like you, but if they never come to you to try to organize with you, do not be surprised. We're the 90s generation, so we understand because of people like Mama Roberta McLeod, the difference between leadership and historical responsibility. Some of us went for positions of leadership, others of us are satisfied with historical responsibility. You'll never see some of us on Ebony Magazine in the 100 most influential so-called African Americans, not because we're not preoccupied with that, but even more importantly, the picture resembles a mugshot when you get locked up by the police. Don't want that. And there are people on this campus who love things the way they are. They love the U.S. government. They love the Zionist state of Israel. You want to know how much? As much as Bill Cosby loves Jell-O pudding. So for her to be able to stay here and deal with that. Teachers on this campus, members of RENAMO, the counterintelligence organization that assassinated Samora Machel in Mozambique. She's here going through that period, but still being unwavering because of her commitment and her love for us. I talk to Ras Baraka and April Silver all the time. I say, you got rid of Lee Atwater, but guess what? They've answered by putting Colin Powell on the board of trustees, a war criminal of the highest order. So because of the consistency, her being in the background making these contributions, it sends a statement to the 90s generation on down. You don't need to be in the spotlight to make your contributions. And yes, she shows an affinity to some of us whose fathers and mothers pushed us into the movement or ensured we were in the movement. I made the mistake of thinking that she's so busy she didn't have time. One day I came to see her, she said, I'm mad at you. I said, why? She said, you didn't tell me your father was in hospital right next door. The least I could have done is gone to visit him. He's a giant. I didn't even know she knew about it. So she's always accessible, always has been accessible. And Victoria O'Neill, her understudy, has a serious undertaking. But we must give her the same support we gave Roberta McLeod. For those of you who want your children to be part of Mass Emphasis, our paperwork is in the back. You can give us your contact information. We want you involved. The donations, that's your call. But thank you very much, not just for coming to support Mass Emphasis, but helping us because it is an honor for us to honor Mama Roberta. Thank you very much. Travel home safely.